What's up, guys? It's your boy Vic, and we back with another video. Today I woke up, I got like 14 subscribers today. I was just like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? I started off at 6. I think four of those out of the 6 that I had were like me, my 2 friends, and one of my friends has 2 accounts. So now that I have 14, I'm like, okay, this shit is real. So welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for subscribing, and make sure you click the notifications so y'all get those notifications. I thank y'all for coming to the channel, man. Today we're going to be talking about how I know God exists. All right, so I'm currently got a part-time job, right? I just lost my really good job back in California. I was making a lot of money, lost it. Now I'm back at ground zero at 31 again. And today I want to talk about how I know God exists, because I've just had a lot of time to think about what I'm doing with my life, why I'm doing it, and what's the real reason behind it. And when you really break it down, it all comes down to a higher purpose, a higher meaning, a higher being who gives us that purpose. And it really had me questioning the existence of God. And so I started, asking questions, started going to YouTube, going down the YouTube wormhole, and I came to the conclusion that there is a God. And the proof of his existence comes in multiple ways. The first way is, the way you know there's a God is because with every design, with every intelligent design, there's a designer. So let's say you walk into a house, and in that house, there is a delicious Thanksgiving feast sitting on a table with a nice cloth. All the utensils are lined up perfectly. Glasses full of wine, and just a beautiful plate and design of food that's sitting on the table like you would see at any Thanksgiving table. Now, it would be stupid to believe that that table just appeared. Anybody in their right mind understands that if there is a meal on the table, if there's a feast that was well organized, everyone knows that somebody had to come in, cook the food, place everything down, place the cloths, fill the wine, fill everything on the plates. Someone had to come and put their work into that. Right? So that is proof of, if there's some kind of design, if there's some kind of organization, then there has to be an organizer, or there's some kind of designer. Right? And so to think that this earth came out of nowhere without any kind of intelligent designer is delusional. Like, look at our anatomy, right? Look at our eyes and how our eyes work, the cells in our bodies, our teeth, our ears, and how we can see and listen. There's no way that I just came here just out of nowhere without any kind of designer or someone that made me. If you look at the earth, right, there's certain laws about the earth that can't be defied. Like, we know that no matter what time it is, no matter where we're at, and from the beginning of the earth till today, we know that trees grow out of the ground. We will never see a tree just floating in the air growing, right? We'll never see there's such thing as gravity, right? There will always be gravity, and gravity will always be there. That's a law, right? And so you can't expect law to come from lawlessness, or you can't expect this organized universe. This universe is extremely organized. If we're 1% off away from the sun, we'll freeze to death. If we're 1% off too close to the sun, we'll burn to death. We're in perfect balance between the sun and the earth. And if we get out of balance just by a little, we die. And so there's no way that happened by accident. That's impossible. Just like it's impossible for there to be a well-designed meal without someone who sat down and actually cooked the meal. So to believe that there's no God is to say that that meal was, it just appeared. And so that is like one of the strongest arguments for the existence of God. Next, there can be no morality without God. If there's no God, then there's relative morality. What does that mean? Well, that means, well, I can go kill someone's mother and it's okay because it's what's relative to me. If I feel like it's okay to kill somebody's mother, then I have good judgment and I have good morality because it's relative to me. That means I can do whatever the fuck I want to do and it's okay. But there's intrinsic morality that we all have. There's intrinsic knowing of what's right and what's wrong, right? We all know what's right and what's wrong. And, you know, an atheist would say, oh, that's just the chemicals in our brain telling us what's right and what's wrong. Well, if someone who might be mentally ill or someone who has different chemicals, or let's say someone like the terrorist or like people who bombed 9/11 who believe that Muhammad is God and Muhammad says destroy anybody who is a Christian or destroy anybody who isn't a Muslim. Well, relative to them, their morale is right. And they actually believe that. Like some, not all Muslims, but like there's a certain extremists of Muslims that believe that if you're not a Muslim, then you die. But there's also certain Christians that, you know, like the KKK, that believe if you're not white, then you should die. So religion has been warped sometimes, right? And that's what drives a lot of people away from Christianity or Islam or whatever religion, because certain people use it to weaponize it. But neither here nor there, at least we know that the only reason why there has to be God is because we have morale and we know what's right and what's wrong. No matter where you're at on the earth, we know that forcing a woman to have sex is wrong. We know that no matter where you're at on this earth, you know that killing someone for no reason is wrong. And since we know that, that means everybody has intrinsic value, right? Because if you kill somebody, it's wrong because that person is valuable. Well, then you have to ask the question, why is that person valuable? Well, if you're an atheist and you don't believe in God, then you really have no real reason for why that person is valuable. Because you might say one thing, but the guy who killed him might say, no, he's not valuable. That's why I killed him. But since we do have a God, and God has given us all purpose and intrinsic value, a purpose on this earth and intrinsic value, then killing that person is automatically wrong according to God, according to our own morale, right? So I'm still learning that concept, but the concept is there's no morale without God. And since we have morality, since we have the understanding of right and wrong, then there has to be a judger, someone who can say, okay, this is right and this is wrong. There has to be someone who can lay the law down on what is right and what is wrong in order for us to understand what is right and what is wrong, or else it's relative to whatever you think is right and whatever I think is right. No, there has to be a universal law that we know what's right and what's wrong. And in order to have a universal law, we have to have a universal judge who comes down and said, this is right and this is wrong. And that's just another way to prove that, you know, God is real. So, you know, as we're on this journey to, you know, entrepreneurship, as we're on this journey to better our lives, as we're on this journey to do more with our lives, I think we have to understand that, you know, there is a higher power, there is a higher being that wants us to have this stuff. And as I grow and as I get older, I'm starting to realize that more and more, that there is a God, there is intrinsic value. I mean, I've had a lot of weird thoughts back in the day, but as I get older and I'm starting to realize stuff, I have to understand that there's a higher being above us and there's a purpose more than just making money. I want to make a lot of money, but there's a higher purpose than just making money, right? There's more than that. It's more than me, right? We're placed on this earth to do way more than what we think we should, and you have to figure out who God is in order to, I think, reach that purpose in life. That's just my thoughts for today. It's your boy Vic. We're back with another video. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification bells, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.